Welcome back to another update on stimulus and Social Security changes. Today we're going to talk about a new $34,000 cash stimulus program and exactly who qualifies. Now, this program is being run by FEMA, and in recent days, AOC has been in the news making sure that people are aware this program exists. So let's discuss the details in this video, but before we jump into it, don't forget to like this video and subscribe. I also have a second channel, so if you guys could do me a huge favor, click on the link that's in the description of this video. Go ahead and subscribe to my second channel. I'm going to be giving away a stimulus check on that channel just as a thank you for supporting my work. Okay guys, so this cash program, which can pay you up to $34,000, is being ran by FEMA, but before we jump into the details and exactly who qualifies, let's do a quick update on daily trending news, as well as a quick update on Social Security benefits. And we have to start this video by paying homage to the man himself. Bernie Sanders turned 80 years old yesterday, and Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez posted a picture saying, "Happy 80th birthday to Bernie Sanders. Thank you for all that you do and showing so many of us that the path forward is in solidarity and collective struggle with one another." Bernie Sanders has been instrumental for seniors in this country and is one of the biggest advocates when it comes to increasing Social Security benefits, increasing SSI, SSDI, railroad, and VA benefits, on top of other things like expanding Medicare and Medicaid, making healthcare cheaper for seniors, and providing more affordable housing for seniors as well. And I know most of you who watch my videos really like Bernie Sanders, so if you like Bernie Sanders, do me a quick favor, drop a happy birthday Bernie comment down below. Let's see how many happy birthday comments we can get. Okay guys, let's jump into trending news, and then we'll talk about FEMA's program for $34,000 in cash payments, exactly who qualifies, and how to apply for it. Now, on this channel, we talk about Social Security changes daily. President Biden has promised to increase benefits across the board. Biden has promised a permanent increase in Social Security and SSI, which would add up to over $6,000 per year in increased benefits depending on your income. He also promised to do a $200 per month stimulus for everybody on Social Security and SSI. So currently, we're waiting to see when President Biden's going to follow through on his promise. Now, Democrats continue to work on the next two stimulus packages, and we'll talk more about that in my next video. But for today, I just want to do a quick update on news that's trending when it comes to Social Security. This man in Ohio was stealing Social Security benefits from his deceased father. Guys, completely ridiculous. He was stealing this money from the Social Security Administration, and this is something that continues to be an issue when it comes to Social Security. Experts estimate that Social Security loses tens of millions of dollars per year when it comes to fraud. This man's father actually passed away in 2015, but he continued to collect his father's payments until 2020. On top of that, he even got a $1,200 stimulus check in his father's name. The Social Security Administration eventually found out, and they estimate that he owes them $60,000. 55-year-old man from Ohio was sentenced on Tuesday to more than a year in federal prison in connection to Social Security and COVID-19 stimulus money he got in his deceased father's name. He was sentenced to 15 months in prison for fraudulently obtaining nearly $60,000 in Social Security and stimulus money. Now, the crazy thing is, he almost got away with it. He was collecting Social Security for 5 years. Eventually, the administration did an audit, realized that his father had passed away, and stopped sending out payments. This is when he really messed up and got himself caught. He called the Social Security Administration, pretending to be his mother, on a 30-minute recorded phone call. These phone calls are recorded. They tell you they're recorded because they have to by law. He still called in and used a high-pitched voice pretending to be his mother to steal his dad's Social Security benefits. Now, at this point, the administration knew something was odd, so they called the FBI, and now he's been officially sentenced to 15 months in prison. Now, a lot of people read this article and thought, wait a minute, was he actually stealing from his mom? Because if her husband passed away, she would be entitled to survivor benefits. Well, it turns out what actually happened is she was still receiving her own Social Security benefit, and then the son was continuing to receive the father's benefit despite the fact that he had passed away. So it doesn't seem like the mother was a victim. It doesn't seem like she really lost out on any benefits. But it is possible that her survivor benefit would have been bigger than her own current benefit that she gets now. So we're not quite sure if the mother actually lost out on benefits because of her son, but the main loser here is the taxpayer and everybody on benefits who have paid their fair share, because quite frankly, this fraud is one of the reasons why Social Security benefits have not been increased. The Social Security Administration continues to lose money to fraud. If they were able to prevent all of this fraud, they could then use that money to try and increase benefits. Now, it is kind of ridiculous that it took them 5 years to realize that this man had passed away. He even got a stimulus check, for goodness sakes. We obviously need some kind of reform when it comes to auditing Social Security benefits to make sure that people are not being paid out once they've passed away. But guys, just such a shocking story seeing people steal Social Security benefits. Let me know your thoughts on that in the comments. Let's do a quick update on daily trending news. Then we're going to jump into this FEMA program, which is paying some people $34,000 in cash. Now, both CNN and Fox News are both talking about the fact that President Biden is about to announce an executive order which will require all federal workers to be vaccinated and potentially even more strict mask mandates. Now, I like to show you both Fox News and CNN just so you see both sides of the spectrum. And so far, Fox News is kind of being unbiased. They're not really slamming President Biden yet, but it's going to be interesting to see exactly what President Biden's plan is. Are people going to agree with his mask mandates, with his vaccine mandates? Are things going to be too strict? Are they going to be not strict enough? We should find out later today, but overall, the pandemic is beginning to get worse, and President Biden thinks that by increasing mask mandates and increasing vaccine mandates, we're going to overcome this pandemic, get back to normal, and get this economy back up and running again. Now, with that said, these mandates are something that might be hurting President Biden in the polls. If you guys have been paying attention, President Biden's approval rating has dropped to a record low. Now, his approval rating has dropped to about 47%, and his disapproval rating has gone up to about 58%. Now, most of this is because the pandemic is getting worse, the chaos in Afghanistan, and quite frankly, a lot of independents, those who are kind of in swing states who don't consider themselves Democrats or Republican, his favorability has dropped significantly with that group of people. So it's going to be interesting to see, does that group of people think that his mask and vaccine mandates are a good thing or a bad thing? And is that going to help or hurt his approval rating? Guys, let me know your thoughts on that in the comments. Do you think President Biden is doing a good job? And do you think stricter mandates is the right thing to do right now? If you take a look and see at his first 100 days in office, this was early May, Joe Biden had an approval rating of 52%. That was 10% higher than Trump was after 100 days. But now Joe Biden has dropped to about 47%, so he's actually getting closer to what Donald Trump's approval rating was. It's impressive to see, look, Ronald Reagan had a 73% approval rating. George Bush Sr., 71%. And President Barack Obama had a 69% approval rating after 100 days in office. Of course, President Biden thinks that increasing the mask and vaccine mandates is going to help get the economy back on track to overcome this pandemic. Now, President Biden has promised to increase Social Security benefits. He's promised to approve monthly stimulus for seniors as well. Now, we're still waiting for that to happen, but currently he's focusing on the infrastructure stimulus and the American Family Stimulus Plan. He also spent the last few days addressing the issue with Hurricane Ida, and he said that the infrastructure stimulus is going to prevent these things from happening. Not just by rebuilding our roads and bridges, but by rebuilding our infrastructure that controls water, our sewers, and our flood control systems to make sure that these systems do not get overwhelmed like they did. Now, Republicans are saying that it's shameful that President Biden is using this tragedy to his advantage to try and push his physical infrastructure agenda, but Democrats are saying that it is truly a solution to prevent this from ever happening again. Now, this is where FEMA comes in with its cash program of up to $34,000. Now, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez has been on the news telling people that if you've been affected by any of these natural disasters that the federal government have designated as natural disasters, you will qualify for up to $34,000 in cash payments from FEMA, and this includes Hurricane Ida, which hit New York, New Jersey, and Louisiana. It also includes North Carolina, which got hit by Tropical Storm Fred. It includes the California wildfires and the Tennessee severe storms and flooding, as well as Michigan having severe storms, flooding, and tornadoes as well. Now, once these things were designated as natural disasters by the federal government, it immediately triggers FEMA to provide people with up to $34,000 to help them cover the damages. Look, and I know obviously a good chunk of you watching my videos won't qualify for this, but guys, on this channel, I talk about all stimulus. We talk about stimulus checks at the nationwide level. We even talk about individual states which approve different stimulus checks every week. We talk about the unemployment stimulus, stimulus for seniors, and this specific stimulus by FEMA might not apply to you, but for those who it does apply, it's going to be really, really helpful. And if this doesn't specifically apply to you, think of someone who you might know who lives in these states. Share this video with them. Let them know that if they've been affected by these disasters, there is stimulus money out there to help them. Now, this stimulus money by FEMA is up to $34,000 and helps homeowners and renters offset the cost of damages and other losses, and it helps them pay for temporary housing, emergency home repairs, uninsured or underinsured damages, as well as even your personal property like laptops, televisions, personal belongings like that, even medical expenses, dental care, funeral expenses related to these disasters. They all qualify for this FEMA funding. Now, if you'd like to apply for this or you know someone that does, you can go to disasterassistance.gov or call 1-800-621-FEMA. That's 1-800-621-FEMA. And again, FEMA will pay you up to $34,000 to cover your damages, cover your temporary housing, your travel, emergency repairs, even medical expenses that could potentially be related to these disasters. And again, currently this includes North Carolina, New York, New Jersey, Louisiana, California, Texas, and Michigan. And it also includes anybody who's passed away due to COVID-19. If you had a friend or family member who passed away due to COVID, I'm really sorry for your loss, but FEMA will actually provide you with funding to help cover the expenses of that funeral. So guys, this is just one of the many stimulus programs that are being approved each week. Really good news for those who have been affected by these disasters. And again, there is more stimulus to come, guys. We constantly have states approving stimulus checks at the state level. Some states are doing hazard pay for frontline workers. Some states are trying to push for stimulus for seniors. And then, of course, we have Democrats pushing for nationwide stimulus checks and even an increase in Social Security benefits. So if you didn't qualify for this stimulus, don't forget to subscribe. I'm going to keep you posted as more stimulus programs develop. Now, some Democrats like AOC are saying that part of the reason that these hurricanes and these floodings are getting worse is because of global warming, and we need to do something when it comes to climate change. Now, whether or not you think that's true, let me know in the comments below, but she wants to include something in regards to climate change in this next stimulus package. And this is something that is kind of causing an issue when it comes to the stimulus package because conservatives do not want to include that in the stimulus plan. She is kind of pushing for this, and it's kind of complicating and slowing down negotiations. But let's take a look, see what she had to say regarding climate change, and let me know your thoughts in the comments below.
The fossil fuel industry and the future of humanity are fundamentally incompatible. They just are. I mean, that's not a political opinion. That is the science. We continue to burn fossil fuels, our planet will become inhabitable. Especially what's happening with Hurricane Ida is that, I mean, this is climate change. I don't know what more people need to see. And I'm very sad to say they're going to see a lot more in our lifetime to understand that this is human caused. We are at the brink. The UN IPCC report was released this year saying we are at code red for humanity. I mean, this is like beyond our new normal. And unfortunately, this year is going to be likely the coolest year of the rest of our lives. It only gets hotter and it only gets more extreme from here. Our infrastructure is at risk. People's lives are at risk in the path of a hurricane, in the path of a wildfire, in the path of any sort of major natural disaster, going to be the most vulnerable. If you actually look at the science, like the trajectory that we've been on is 4 degrees of warming by 2100. You know, that renders half of the landmass on Earth functionally inhabitable to human life. That's what happens if we do nothing. That's what happens if we don't draw down, if we don't transition to renewables, if we...
Wow. Now, whether or not you agree with that, let me know in the comments. But in any case, Those pictures and videos were shocking. Just the danger, the amount of people who lost their lives or lost their homes throughout these floodings is just truly tragic. And our thoughts go out to each and every one of you who have been affected. But guys, with that said, thank you so much for watching, and don't forget to subscribe. I will keep you posted on the next 2 stimulus packages, Social Security changes, and daily news updates as well. And thank you so much for watching. So until the next video, take care and have a great day.